You are watching UCU Focus TV.
Hi, my name is Okuru Timothy and welcome to the Sports Focus Show. Today we're going to be dissecting matters in relation to sports both nationally and internationally. A look at our national sport, of course, UCU Cannons, after thriving against our saviour by just a point, went and were mashed by the KIU Titans 73-55. We'll be giving a brief about that. I'm looking at Vipers. Vipers is going international. We now have a Brazilian striker. Gonzalo Rodriguez will be looking into that transfer as well, and then of course we're going to be looking at some of your transfers in your various clubs in Europe, from Chelsea to Man United. We'll be looking at some of those projects, looking at Liverpool, all that and more in this week's segment of the Sports Focus Show. But right now what you can do is to head over to our Twitter space and do use the hashtag SportsFocus, and we'll be sure to look through your comments. Your comments are much appreciated. Joining me on this segment is Meshuga Joshua, a seasoned sports analyst here at UCU Focus TV. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And today I will also be hosting the head of sports, fresh from adding one more year to his docket, Michael Inomugisha.
You had to mention that. Thank you for having me on the Sports Focus. The hashtag is Sports on Focus here.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Michael, and thanks for having me. Alright, so we want to look at the project. First of all, looking at our school here. The Cannons started with a good reputation, but right now it looks like they are struggling to hold the locks. Going by more than 10 points against the KIU side. Mike, what do you make of that?
For the basketball team, UCU Cannons losing it out against KIU Titans, I was actually reflecting on the previous match where we won by just 1 point against our saviour, and I reflected on and I was foreshadowing on how it would be against the KIU Titans. I thought UCU would try, but I was not surprised by that result. According to our saviour, a team without a match profile if you compare to KIU Titans, and I'm foreshadowing on how it would look when we face teams like City Oilers. So the team should put up should look forward to regaining the momentum they had previously, and should look at winning those games. And if you win by 1 point against our saviour, it is not a shocker to lose against KIU Titans, a team that is well known for top performances in the NBL.
According to you, where do you think is the blind spot for the Cannons? Do you think it has to do with training? Do you think it has to do with the players? Because what we've been seeing is that every season when we come to a close, most of the good players are taken away. So where do you think is the blind spot for us?
For me, I think they've lost their top performers. The other Bale, the previous season, which was a shocker, and it is a disappointment in some way or the other. It demoralizes some players, and I've not seen an addition of such a profile. And the team should also look at regaining the trust and confidence. They should go in the court having that belief. We don't have the likes of Bale who have left for City Oilers. We should fight for our own names, right? So, of course, losing top performers, it affects the teams morally. The confidence is lost. But much as you've lost those top performers, it is now your time to shine. Fight for what Bale was doing. Fight for which other players were doing. You previously mentioned how they played against our saviour, and Sifuma played very well, and he should keep the moment. It is about consistency. If he performed well, he should fight so much to put the name up like how the previous players were playing.
Alright, now we are running through to football, sticking still with national football. The Uganda Cranes, the female side of the Uganda Cranes, is headed to Tanzania next week. In a prep game, they beat the Kampala Select 9-2.
I was not surprised anyway.
Quite a mashing, and you get the feeling that they are ready. Mwesiga, I would like to start with you. looking at the performance that they had against the Kampala Select, do you feel they are ready to play against the Twiga side in Tanzania?
Yes, I think they are ready to play because I think it was quite a good performance.
Where do you think the errors that, because most people were looking at conceding 2 goals against the Kampala side. Now, going against the national team in Tanzania, you might not be able to score the 9 goals did against the national side. So if you concede the 2 goals or 3, it might be hard to outscore the Tanzanian side. So according to you, looking at the general lineup, where do you think improvement needs to be done at the coaching level?
The improvement, okay, like us in Uganda here, we don't have enough facilities. But what I can assure them, if they work hard, they will improve and go further. Yes.
The Airtel contract brought some goodies for the national teams. I think about 19 billion spread across 5 years. Do you guys think that that money can aid helping facilitating players, the coaching staff, getting equipment for training? Do you think that contract is going to help build the national team, because they've been doing better than the men of late?
Is it to me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Crested Cranes, yes, on Monday playing against Kampala Select and winning 9-2. I saw Nawete scoring a goal and I was like, wow, they should put up such a fight when they go to the Twiga Stars in Tanzania on Friday. The result is quite promising, and if you talk about the deal they signed with MTN, yeah, that deal, I think it's MTN, yeah, MTN. Much as if you look at how this deal has been working for us, much as the national team, the men's national team, much as it has been playing from away, MTN has been putting up public screens in taxi parks like the Parking Kade and the New Tax Park, where they've been engaged, allowing fans to engage with the national team. Much as we are not with them physically, but we're supporting them from the ground.
Keep track,
yeah. So that is, it was such a good innovation for MTN. And if you look at the female team, the Crested Cranes, for me, actually I've realized supporting female teams will be my new move. Because if you look at how the Chic Cranes performs in basketball, in netball, I have no reason not to support the females, because they've been performing and they've tried compared to the investment they have put in the men's football. And if you look at how the females have tried to, because there's a time way back when they had no money to sponsor their movements, but they've been trying to improve. And that if they go to Tanzania and get a win, I will predict it ending 3-1.
All right, great. So moving on to Vipers, men's football. Mr. Mulindo at the Ugandan Todd Boyle has fished out the Brazilian striker for Vipers, Gonzalo Rodriguez. How do you people think? They won last season by a whisker at the very final showdown, winning 5-1. But do you think that it's an oversight trying to feel that we do not have the caliber of strikers that can help us win games? For example, you look at one unit center mode. Do you think he could get the job done? Was it necessary to have this transfer, or priority should have been given to the national players? Paul, I would like to start with you on that.
What I'm going to say about this new signing is that they have brought experience, and the age doesn't matter because he's new in the country and he has a lot of talent to bring to our squads in Uganda, because that's what we are lacking. We have few skills that we are lacking, so we can bring in more and we can give the team flexibility to create and score more goals.
Indeed, squad depth is very important in club football. But somehow you get the feeling, because I think Unif Sendamu should be our best striker nationally right now. And once we get those international players taking up the playing time of our national players here, you see what happens with most of our players who went outside and lost playing time, likes of Alan Okello, likes of Okwi, likes of Farouk Mia. They kind of rusted, the talent got rusted, and now they are hardly delivering on the national team.
True.
Do you think if we are bringing those players here, Michael, this is to you, how is it going to affect our performance at the national level?
I previously looked at Vipers as a team that likes bringing in foreigners. Look at the coaches they've been having. They've had a Mexican, they've had a Portuguese, yeah, they've had foreign coaches coming in and trying to win a few trophies here and there. But if you have one local coach and you're bringing in a foreign player, if you look at it in a perspective of marketing, it's a win for Vipers anyway, because local teams have rarely had international supporters. So bringing in a Brazilian, and previously you had a Portuguese coach, which are both Portuguese-speaking countries, it is a way of getting it's a way of getting foreign support. It's a way of adding a crystal. If it is food, you're adding a crystal of salt in food. You know, we have strikers. Well, you talked about Sentamu. He's a good striker, but now we have the FUFA. They have a tournament for 8. Is it called FUFA what? It's a 8-teamed competition for under FUFA. And also we have the Uganda Cup.
Yeah.
We have the Ugandan League.
Yeah.
We have CAF Champions League. So adding someone like Lodribes Gonzalo, who is already 33, I don't think he can play over and over again, but it will be an addition. Also, it also bolsters the confidence of players at the training facility. If we can have a foreigner come to train with us, meaning we are good quality players, so it will make them fight. I'm looking at that in my own perspective, as marketing and as a way of broadening the quality and improving the training confidence of players at Vipers. And it's a win for them, and I'm not shocked, because look at other teams. KCC have already got a foreign coach. AC Villa as well, they have a coach from Serbia. Vipers getting a foreign player. Let us not look at it as a way of brain draining. No, it's an improvement for our Ugandan football. We've had Congolese playing in here and Rwandan players coming in to play from here, but we have not had an overseas player. We've had them, but having a Brazilian, it's rare.
Yeah, it's
a different scenario and a different story.
What I can add on, Michael, is that we are going to get more scouts to come and view our teams, how they play.
True.
And players will be able to go to outside countries and they experience how teams play outside there. Yes.
Well, you heard it from the team here. They are happy with the signing
Yeah.
of the Brazilian. So this Focus Sports Show will take a break, but when we return, we are going international.
You are watching UCU Focus TV.
Welcome back from that break. You're still watching the Sports Focus Show, and still with me is Paul Mesuga, a sports analyst here at Focus Sports, and Michael Enomgisha. And of course, we are taking a dive into issues that are making headlines in the world of transfers internationally, away from the likes of Rodriguez at Vipers, and now we are heading to Chelsea,
Yes.
Liverpool, and Man U. So I would like us start from Manchester United, the Red Devils. We shall start with the Devils and go to the Angels as we end the show. So Paul,
Yes.
looking at some of the transfers that have made that are making trends in Manchester United. First of all, no one could think at any given point in time that David De Gea would be thought of as would be an afterthought at Manchester United. But now it looks like they want the Cameroonian Andre Onana to come and get the job done. Is it because he went to the Champions League final? Where does the problem come? Is De Gea underperforming? Is Onana overperforming? And look at generally other transfers that have made headlines. Look at Mount coming to Manchester United. Give us a quick run through your club. How do you feel the transfers faring for you?
Okay, as we go to the international scene, we look at Manchester United. Manchester United, the signing of Onana is that football has grown. So this is the modern trend, and we are looking for players who have the confidence to play as a team, and De Gea doesn't do that. He's more relaxed in the back, and he sometimes miss passing the ball, he's not confident, and Onana is very confident that at times he moves from the back to the forward front to play with other players. As you can witness if you watch the final between Manchester City and Inter Milan, the way the man was playing.
Maybe to cut it short, if you look at the profile of Onana, he fits the real playing style of Erik ten Hag.
Yes.
And for Erik ten Hag, who has always craved to have a keeper who is good at the foot. You look at Andre Onana, the way he played in the finals, like he mentioned earlier on, it was top tier. I expected Ederson to be doing what Onana was doing, but he was so excited and I actually, in my mind, I was like, Manchester United should go for such a keeper. And it's a bad game. 40 million for a keeper like that. Look at the way Chelsea bought Addis Baraga. It was a huge amount.
75 million.
And he's not in the level of Onana, to be honest. And you look at the way Liverpool bought Alisson Becker. It was a huge amount, and they are all doing what Onana is doing. But Man United being asked 40 million, I just hope Man United gets the deal done as quick as possible before the Saudi Arabian guys come for him.
Yes.
Right, we're about to see a black goalkeeper at Manchester United, and looks like all the Manchester people are happy here about that.
Yes.
Let's look at Mount for a little bit. I was trying to think, where does Mount fit inside that attacking frontier of Manchester United? You've got Fernandes, you have Rashford, you have someone like Sancho, you have
Eriksen.
Martial.
where do you put Mount? Because I was looking at him doing the same role that Fernandes is doing. Have you brought him to come off the bench? Because this is someone who starts in the English national team, and now he's getting to a certain Manchester United where there's a Bruno Fernandes and a Jadon Sancho who have good speed as well, who are ball players. If they step up at any given time, he can find himself in the bench. What do you think is the mind of Erik Ten Hag with a transfer like Mount?
Okay, I'll begin with my opinion. In my opinion, it's not our first choice signing because we immediately need a striker. That's our main focus.
Yeah,
because we need goals. But the signing of Mount is very good because we need that ball progression, the same movement of let me say the likes of De Jong, like getting the ball from the back, progressing it forward.
Sure.
And we don't have enough players to do that. And the likes of Eriksen is good, but it's not the work rate of Mount is more than that of Eriksen. Eriksen, from that time he had that arrest, is not that, he doesn't have the power to chase people up and down, but Mount,
can't run,
as you witnessed in the final, the FA final, Gundogan was giving him hard time to track around the field. So we need that goal rate, that progression and movement. And let me say, for me, in the suitable role of Mount, he should play alongside Anthony, where he supports him, so that Bruno Fernandes is playing at the left, is with who? With Rashford or Sancho, and Mount is playing alongside Anthony, because Anthony has had time to go back behind to
And
pick the ball from one
He's not a fisher
Bissaka,
of
yes,
fish.
yeah, from one Bissaka,
Yeah.
and progress it forward. So I think that's his role, and to help out Casemiro in most of the duties. Yes.
Paul raised the pertinent issue about Rashford here. He talked about you needing a striker.
True.
And to me, from where I stand, I would think Rashford has been getting the job done. 1 goal a game. Don't you think he's trying?
Now, for Rashford to score goals, he's been scoring goals anyway. But he's not a natural striker.
Yes.
You need a poacher. You need someone like Rasmus from Atlanta. You need a striker like Osimhen. Someone who would get the ball and tap in. But
like
Marshall would get the ball and try to dribble. They take it away from him. So, you know, for Mason Mount to come at United, it's a good addition.
Yes.
I was looking at games where Man United was playing FA, Carabao, Europa League, and playing Premier League. We at some point suffered when Eriksen got an injury, and our own Casemiro got a red card. Yes. United was back to the Mark Fleet midfield. The midfield that United fans would not like at one point, you know. So adding a Mason Mount, he will come play, and I believe he's going to start. He's going to start because Eriksen has a low work rate, as Paul said earlier. If you look at Mount, the way he played the previous season, apart from this season where Chelsea had a poor season, his stats, he was the best at Chelsea in almost everything. Free kicks, he's good in free kicks. That means it's an addition in taking free kicks, corner kicks for Man United.
Good penalty shooter.
Yeah, you know. I will be opposing what Paul was saying, taking him to the side of Anthony. But I've watched highlights and I've reviewed clips of Mason Mount as a good player on the left
Left flank,
supporting someone like Rashford if he's put on the left. and they've been doing well on the national team. I also moved a step further to look at how he has been playing
Partnership with the
partnership of Mason Mount and Marcus Rashford. It will be a good addition for Man United. And for someone like Eriksen, now it's time for Bruno Fernandes to stop playing those 90 minutes that he reaches the time and is doing not a lot of stuff like like any United fan would want. So it will be a time to see the real performances of Eriksen as a number 10, not as a number 8 like the coach has been playing.
But before we move away from the Devils, I want to ask each of you to give me your, basing on the kind of the players that you have right now, if you were to play a Champions League final, give me your starting lineup in a 4-3-3 formation for Manchester United. I'll start with you.
Yes, I'll go with the likes of David De Gea because it's the only option you have right now. And my number 2, I'll opt for Delort because he's a ball-playing defender. He moves forward and he comes back, he tracks back to defend. And I would go with the likes of Varane, although he's injury prone, but we are talking about the Champions League.
True.
And we'll go with Lisandro Martinez in my number 5. Then number 3, I'll go with Luke Shaw because he goes forward and he tracks back to defend.
True.
Then in number 6, of course, the one and only Casemiro. Yes, because it's the only option you have in that number. Then I'll go for Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes. Then for up front, I'll go with the likes of Marshall, Rashford, and Anthony. Yes, that's my...
Mount is a bench material here.
For me, he has already got a medical done at United. Mason Mount, he has to be in my team, of course. My first 11 is Onana. I want Onana to United. Onana should be my goal, and number 4 I should have Varane.
Back those lineups of Facebook.
I'm just giving a projection because
likely to come.
We are not even in the final of Champions League anyway. So I want Varane. If not, Varane is not there, I want Lindelof. The Swedish captain is really good at what he's doing. Lisandro Martinez, with no doubt.
Yes.
Even if it inject him painkillers to play that fine, I want him to be there because he's a diehard as well. In number 3, I want Luke Shaw, the best number 3 as per now, apart from Di Marco. Di Marco at Inter Milan.
Yes.
Then in number 2, I will want Wan-Bissaka. If we are having Bruno Fernandes in number 10, I will want Wan-Bissaka. Then number 6, Casemiro. If we reach in the 80th minute, Man United playing, a player like Amrabat, if the terms, the agreement is reached, I want Amrabat to come as a backup for Casemiro. Then in number 8, Mason Mount, without doubt. Mason Mount. And in my number 10, Bruno Fernandes, the future captain.
The wings.
And the wings, I will want Anthony. I'm one of the Man United fans that still believe that we have not tapped on the juices of Anthony. He's a top performer. Then in my number 11, Rashford. Number 9, if a deal is agreed, Rasmus at Atlanta or Kolomwani. Osimhen, it is not possible according to the amount Man United has to spend in the transfer window. Then that will be my starting 11. Marshall should be somewhere in Lyon, in France. Should be somewhere in Lyon. That's where someone lazy can perform. I'm not being judgmental, but to be honest, if you look the way Lacazette was performing at Arsenal and the performances he has tried to put on in the French League 1, Marshall can perform. He can change the playing style of France.
Alright, we are short of time, but I'd like us to just pick on a few transfers that you feel have made sense out of Manchester United's project. Look at Dominic heading to Liverpool. Don't you think Liverpool is getting a Chelsea appetite of wanting to buy every player at the same time?
No.
Because
no.
You know, they had Gapco, they've gotten Dominic, and they already have a bulk of people at the front. You have Salah somewhere there, you have Firmino, you have to the left, help me out.
To the left, you have
Jota,
Jota.
You have
have
Don't
Darwin.
you
Dalot,
think-
they have Dalot, yeah.
Don't you think there is a certain Chelsea appetite coming? Because these are all you would say top players. Dominic, for example, is a Hungarian captain.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Why would he get onto Liverpool and head to the bench as a captain? Do you think there is a certain over appetite at Liverpool?
It's not an over appetite. Look at Liverpool. They have had problems with the midfield in the previous. Naby Keita, a dubbed number 8, who at one time replaced the the former captain and club legend Steven Gerrard with that number 8, not performing at all, injury prone all the time. They're adding a leader, Hungarian captain Dominic. It's very hard to pronounce the other name. I'm sorry. Then we shall.
Jovia.
Yeah. Then we have McAllister, number 10.
McAllister, yeah.
Liverpool, they have lost their number 10 and number 9. One player in 2 roles. Firmino.
Yeah.
They have added McAllister, a World Cup winner, a player who has taken Brighton for their first time in Europe. It's a good addition. Kode is a winger and can play number 9. Meaning if on the wings they are putting Diogo Jota, and the other side the Colombian international. Remind me the name. Their winger. Luis Diaz.
Yeah.
They are putting Luis Diaz. Then Salah would come in as a number 9. Sometimes you will see Salah coming as a winger or a number 9. So for Liverpool to have and I wish Liverpool should get a typical number 6. They lack that one. Fabinho, Alcantara, those ones are not they can't do business for like Man City did. Yeah, you look, Man City had Calvin Phillips, a player who starts at England even if he has not played. I don't like the football style of Calvin Phillips, but having a backup like that one is good for them. And we have a consistent player like Rodri. They can't compete with the midfield of Liverpool, number 6, Fabinho. Compete with Casemiro. Compete with even Partey at this time. Partey is better than Fabinho, in my point of view.
Let's just count those Liverpool forwards on our fingers and place them to the left wing, to the right wing, and in the centre forward.
Yeah.
We have Mohamed Salah.
Yeah.
We have Luis Diaz. We have Diogo Jota. We have Dominic. We have
Dominic is a number 8, number 10.
Okay, Dominic.
Number 8.
Where would you put them? Because I believe Salah has a permanent position in the
The
lineup.
wing, yeah.
For me, I would bench Darwin Nunez and Jota to come on as my substitutes.
Yeah.
Then Salah is a must start. Luis Diaz is a must start, and in the middle I would have Cody Gakpo to play for me that role, because they like twisting, coming forward. He's deep lying. He can come from back to front with the ball, and he has those traits like those of Mane.
True, yeah. I
Yes.
was about to say
Though
that,
his
yeah.
work rate is not that energetic like
He's not
that of
strong like Mane.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Alright,
what
my
I can
producer has
tell.
given me a minute. I would like us to talk about the Chelsea project a little bit. They've already lost Kai Havertz to
True.
Arsenal. They've lost
Koulibaly.
They lost Koulibaly.
Yeah.
They lost Jorginho last season. They lost
Your sweetheart, Kante.
Kante is gone.
Yeah.
And now it's even rumored that Captain Azpilicueta is likely to head to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
And one of the things that people, football pundits will tell you, that it's good to have a squad that has stayed around for long because they understand the chemistry of each other. And now what you're seeing is that you're sweeping out one squad and you bring a whole complete new squad. How do you think that team is going to glue? Do you think Pochettino can get the job done with a completely new squad? They're still learning each other. How would you rate Chelsea's new season, Pochettino?
Okay, I would not rate it that high. I could give it like a top 6 or top 5 position at the end of the season.
It's bad.
But with Pochettino, he knows how to arrange teams. Like, he's the way he used to play at Tottenham is more based on individuals. So he will pick out a few individuals in that team, he sets them up, and they will be able to do for him the job. Let me start with the likes of, we can pick out like Enzo Fernandez
World Cup
in the team, yes. And
You had
if,
to mention that.
I had to mention that.
yes, and if he's to remain with the likes of, let me say, the likes of
Auba?
Felix, if he's to remain or become a permanent signing,
Felix has left already.
he has
Lost
left.
him, yeah.
But if he would remain, those will be the individuals that he's working with to get the scores, to give him the scores, because for him it's more of individual players, like the way he did at Tottenham with the likes of Son and Kane. and he got Lloris at the back.
If he would remain, but he's gone, so I don't know what happens. Michael.
Okay, in my own view, Chelsea fan out there, look at this very well. Relax.
I'm also here.
You relax. You relax. You have
Yeah.
more to season 2.
Wow.
To go back where Chelsea would be. 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
And for a coach like Pochettino, he's overrated. To be honest, he's one of the most overrated coaches. And at one point, he was linked to Man United, and I was like, this should not happen to us. Because if you look at Pochettino, he was at a club like Tottenham. Everyone was hyping how they reach the finals of Champions League. Well, any team you can have your season.
Without how it
But if you maintain it, you are a top coach. Look at Pep. Pep has been doing that, meaning he's a top coach. Look at Ten Hag. I will say Ten Hag because he has been doing it in the Eredivisie in Netherlands. He has been doing it at United. He has done it at United in the first season, winning a trophy in the first season and finishing in Champions League qualifiers, which other coaches didn't do previously. So for Chelsea, you have new names, and the new names, you know it. They have to learn how to play with each other. By the time you're learning to play with each other teams are collecting points. So Liverpool, for Chelsea, they will finish in top 6. Yeah, they will be number 6. They will go in Europa at least.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, so that's all we had time for on this edition of the Focus Sports Show. Many thanks to my panelists for joining me on this edition, Michael Inomugisha and Joshua Mesuga. Paul Mesuga, sorry.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us on this edition, and of course, please keep the comments coming on our social space on Twitter with the hashtag Focus Sports, and this show will return to you next week. Please do catch up our subsequent shows. We'll see you. Have yourselves a lovely weekend.
You are watching UCU Focus TV.